Puppies! Ah!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Eggs.
And this week we watched 2017's Inconceivable. You keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. We open on a woman desperately grabbing things and a baby to leave before the father gets home. He catches her right as she makes it to the door. He chases her to the kitchen and begins to strangle her. She grabs a knife from the counter and stabs him before running off. Next, we meet Brian, Cage, and Angie, Gina Gershon, a married couple with a young daughter. Both of them are doctors, but Angie is now a stay-at-home mom. They have a nice house and what seems to be a very loving relationship. One day, while Angie is at the park with her daughter, Cora, a friend of hers named Linda introduces her to another mother named Katie and her daughter, Maddie. Maddie and Cora have made fast friends while playing, and Linda organizes a play date for the three of them and the two girls. Angie and Katie end up becoming very close, and one night Katie tells Angie that she ran from an abusive ex. Angie shares that she had several miscarriages, so Cora was conceived with a donor's egg. She confesses the whole ordeal created a drug addiction to Xanax, but she went to rehab and she's fine now. Angie also confides that she just learned that she is pregnant again. In the very next scene, Angie has another miscarriage. Katie is always there for her while she's healing, and Angie offers to let her stay in their guest house. One day, thinking Brian may be cheating on her, Angie goes to the guest house to find Katie en flagrante with someone, but Katie tells her it was a woman from work. Next, we learn that it's not a woman from work, it's Linda, and she and Katie are seeing each other secretly. On a date at the beach, Linda tells Katie that Angie and Brian are going to go for another kid. They still have a donor egg from when they had Maddie, and they'll use a surrogate this time, and they've asked Linda. Katie tells Linda while they're in the water that she's the donor, bio mom to Cora, and she doesn't want Linda to be a surrogate. She hits Linda with a hand weight in the head and then holds her underwater until she's dead. Next, we see Katie is pregnant, but she's been asked to carry since Linda had what is being described as a boat accident. Angie has gone back to work part-time. Katie is the nanny and still lives in the guest house, but she starts to have flashbacks. When she donated her eggs, she got an infection so severe that these 3 eggs are all the eggs she'll ever produce. As Katie begins to disagree more and more with Angie not being 100% available, the more she begins to refer to herself as Cora's mom. Angie is not pleased with this and tries to place boundaries, but things remain tense. Katie has another flashback. She's painting a mural in a house while a baby is crying. The crying won't stop, and she goes to find the child's mother in the bath drinking wine while the baby cries. Katie says she's disappointed. She gave her that baby. Then she bashes her head in the tub and drowns her, then kidnaps the baby named Maddie. Angie has continued to remain suspicious of Katie and asks a colleague to test some DNA for her. The next morning, after Katie leaves the kitchen, Angie bags her juice glass and Cora's and takes them for analysis. However, she doesn't know that Katie drugged her to-go bottle of carrot juice with several Xanax pills. Once the drugs have worn off enough for her to drive home, Angie crashes her surprise baby shower and screams that Katie is manipulating everything and she's their egg donor, and Brian tells everyone to leave. Katie tells Brian she'll handle Angie. In the kitchen, Angie draws a knife and tells Katie to stay back. They have words, and then Katie grabs Angie's wrist and stabs herself in the belly. She calls Brian while she beats herself up Fight Club style. When Brian arrives, she manufactures a struggle to stab Angie in the gut. Both women are taken to the hospital. In the waiting room, Angie's friend finds Brian and gives him the DNA results. Brian realizes Angie was right, and the doctor comes out and appears to say that Angie died. In the delivery room, Katie is being prepped for a C-section. Brian comes in and tells her that Angie is gone. Katie makes him hug her and says she didn't have a choice. Brian appears to be in stiff shock and tells her that she did what she had to do. But with time, they'll all be okay. Katie doesn't want to have the C-section, but Brian says she's in good hands and he has to go get the kids. Katie is given gas for the procedure. When Katie comes to, Brian tells her there are some complications during the delivery. The baby is okay, but he's under observation. Katie asks to go see him, so Brian rolls her to the nursery. He has the nurse hold the baby up and then leans down to tell Katie to take a good long look. It'll be her last. Katie seems confused as he walks into the nursery and closes the door. He takes the baby and shows it to her. She gets out of the chair and tries to come in, but it's locked and she begins screaming. Then a door behind Brian opens and Angie walks in with an IV stand. She's alive and wraps herself around Brian and the baby as Katie has a meltdown. Police come and take her away to a mental hospital. Next, we're back at Angie and Brian's. He's just gotten back from a jog, and in the bedroom, Angie is snuggled up with Cora and Maddie while the baby sleeps in the bassinet at the end of the bed. Brian gives her a locket with pictures of all of the kids. They snuggle. The end. Megan.
Yeah.
What did you think of this movie?
It's boring.
It is boring.
It's very boring. It's actually, I mean, it's not a terrible movie. I mean, there are terrible parts to it, like the fact that Katie is like on the run or whatever, but like at the beginning of the movie she's got dark brown hair, but it's clearly a wig and it's terrible. Like it's not even the same shape as like the hair that she's got. It's the woman that plays Katie is creepy.
She is.
She did a good job being creepy. This movie is just kind of bland. It's not, like, I don't want to say it's like a bad movie because it's not like a terrible movie, but it's not good. It only has, like 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, like, it's not, it's not good. I also really wish that they would stop making Nicolas Cage run in movies because he's not good at running.
He does look like a bit of a doofus.
He, like, every time I see him run, it looks like he only knows how to do it when he's acting. Like, I don't know if he runs in real life. I don't think he does. It just looks awkward. Gina Gershon is wonderful. I love her in everything that I see her in.
I do not like Gina Gershon.
No?
And I have a hard time buying her as straight ever since I watched Bound.
I mean, that is fair. That's definitely fair.
She grew on me in this movie, though. I didn't like her in the beginning of the film, but as the terror kind of ramps up, I thought, got a lot better. I just kind of think the plot overall is dumb. It's just a dumb plot. And it could have been, it wasn't very tense and it wasn't scary. It could have been those things.
Yeah. But
I think the direction really hampered it.
I agree. I think that there could have been a lot more tension, and there just wasn't. The suspicion around Katie began, I think, far too late.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie's an hour and 46 minutes long, and Angie didn't even start becoming suspicious until, like, an hour into it. And, like, this woman's been living in her house. She's been taking care of her kid and Angie's kid for months now. And, like, I don't know. I feel like even the reveal that she's, like, a psycho, like, kidnapper killer was, like, downplayed. Like, it wasn't as tense as it could have been. And Brian...
He's, like, absent through the entire movie.
The entire thing. He's so incredibly ineffective. And then... It's been over 2 years since she had, like, any kind of issues with, like, pills or anything. But the first person he believes is Katie when she shows up drugged out of her mind. Like, she fucking drugged me. Like, I don't know. Like, it kind of dismantles how close their relationship seemed at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel like their relationship is not as genuine. And that he always just didn't trust her, which is stupid. Because they seemed like a very solid couple.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in the scenes in the beginning and even at the end, I think they had good on-screen chemistry. But yeah, for the most part, throughout the middle of the movie, he's just sort of like a bump on a log. He's just like a fly on the wall that's just there watching what's going on. And it's not, I don't know. Up until the point that Angie gets stabbed. He doesn't really seem to care what's going on with her. Yep. And then out of nowhere, he's like, oh, I believe you. But he still needed to be handed the DNA results. in order to be like, oh my God.
My favorite part of this movie is Faye Dunaway.
Oh my God.
As his mom. And she, like, they'll be sitting down for family dinner, and she is just grilling on the third fucking degree these random ass people that her son's wife keeps bringing home.
Yep.
Like stray goddamn dogs. And she is like, she doesn't trust Katie from the jump. She asks very impertinent questions, and I am living for it. Faye Dunaway can come stick her nose into my family business anytime she wants.
Anytime. Honestly, her character was the only one that was making any sense.
Yeah.
For a little while. I mean, she was probably the most refreshing thing about the movie.
Yeah.
Was that she was there just to cause issues. I don't know, the movie's weird. Again, I think it took a long time to really get off the ground, which was kind of annoying. Also, like, what kind of doctors are they? Like, we just know that they're doctors. Doctors of what? Do we just
Doctors
assume?
of medicine.
Well, obviously, but like, what do they do? Like, we know that they both work at a hospital, but like, what do they do? What do they do? What do they do that she could just take off for the last 4 years and then decide that she's going to take part-time work? How do you be a part-time doctor? How does that work? Like, I don't know. I don't know if the people that wrote this movie really researched anything about it. Also, you would think the fact that they're doctors would play into the plot more, and it doesn't.
Right.
Like, you know, with all these miscarriages and blah, 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 like, we think to learn that, like, her speciality is in OBGYN, or maybe he works with, like, stem cells or something. Maybe they have something to do with reproductive. Throw me a fucking crumb. I don't know anything about these people other than he can't run and she can't make babies. That's literally it. That's all we know about them. And then this crazy blonde shows up. It's just, I don't know. It's just, maybe it is a bad movie. Maybe it is just a bad movie.
It's just a bad movie, I think, is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
What would we rate this movie?
I mean, I might be inclined to give it a C.
That high, huh?
I mean, listen, we are only about halfway through this project, and sometimes I feel like we are too hard on movies. I think this movie was very pedestrian. It wasn't so bad that, like, I fell asleep. It wasn't so bad that it made me angry. It was just more of, like, an annoyance. So to me, I feel like I could give it a C. If you want to go lower than that, I'll defer to you.
No, you make a persuasive argument. What would we give the caginess of it?
I don't honestly know, because it's not even really a Cage movie. It's a Gina Gershon movie.
Yeah, he is an absent character in his own film.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know, because he really is more like a supporting character. There was nothing about his acting that wowed me. There's nothing about anything that he did that made me say, oh, wow, this is really good. So, I mean, I think I would probably give him a C as well.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, there you have it, folks. It's a C middling effort from all parties. And that's it for this movie. If you want to follow along with us, we are on social media on Instagram at NotTheBeesPod, where we post pictures from the movie that we're watching every week. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/notthebees, where you can help us pay for the software we use to record this here fancy, dancy, schmancy little podcast of ours. If you would be so kind as to interact with this podcast by rating and reviewing us on your podcaster of choice, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I think that's it for this week.
Yep.
I've been Elizabeth.
And I've been Megs. Have a great week.
See you next time, kids.